So we left Sofia this morning and we've been driving for the last 3 hours and a half, and we are heading to northwest Bulgaria.
And the reason to go there is because northwest Bulgaria is actually the poorest region in the EU, and we're going to go visit the so-called ghost villages, but don't think that they're haunted by spirits or anything. It's something else. This is the village of Kanits, population 4. 30 years ago, more than 100 people lived in these houses and walked in these streets. Now there are only empty, abandoned buildings, relics of a time when life flourished. Petko is one of the 4 last remaining residents of the village.
People used to live here. There was a livelihood. There were animals. After the collectivization of 1956, we had a huge farm. Now there is no one here. On Mondays and Fridays, I go to the nearest village because there is no one to talk to here. A lot of people are dying. My friends are dead. People that I used to work with. But I'm not that lonely. I live with my livestock. If it weren't for my animals and my TV, I would die on the spot. There would be no one to talk to. When I talk to someone on the phone, it lasts for hours. There is no future here.
This used to be a small supermarket. Now it's just empty shelves, broken objects, and dust. As for this building, it was once the village's municipal office.
Before coming here, we've read a lot about the ghost villages in Bulgaria, but actually seeing one, it's quite shocking and it makes you feel really sad. But, Brian, times are changing.
Yes, times are changing for the best and sometimes for the worst. And what I feel when I see these villages is I think that today rural exodus continues in Europe, whether it's in Bulgaria or other EU member states. And some villages today in the EU that are booming with life, perhaps in 10, 20 or 30 years, will be completely empty. This dystopian future could soon hit the nearby village of Rabrovo. The local school recently shut down and only 250 people live here, half of the population 30 years ago. The town's mayor remembers what life was like back then.
I feel very sad, very troubled by the state of our village. I've been living here for 30 years, and there used to be so many people here. Nowadays, when I go to work in the morning, there's no one. Same in the afternoon. There used to be so many people, and it used to be so much better back then.
The closing of factories, combined with land privatization after the fall of communism in the late 1980s, are the main reasons that drove residents away from these villages. Today, young people continue to move to cities to find jobs, and the majority of those who remain are above 60 years old, living on pension benefits of less than 150 euros per month.
Стопанството се разпадна, мина в частната собственост.
Agriculture here fell apart. Everything became private property and things went downhill for the villagers. Old people are definitely nostalgic for communism. They say that things used to be much better. They were poor, but at least they had work. Now there is no money and there is no work.
According to the mayor of Rabrovo, the EU has helped villages like hers to build infrastructure and create work programs for the residents. But she says it will take jobs and career opportunities especially to convince Bulgaria's workforce to move back to one of the 600 villages around the country that have been emptied of their population.